Hi, I'm Bob, author of Become a Photoshop Expert in a Day by Mastering Layers. But in this video, I'm going to show you a brand new cool feature in Adobe Illustrator. Adobe just added a tool, it's currently in beta, so not officially released yet, that uses artificial intelligence to recolor artwork. Similar to what you can do in AI tools like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, you just tell Illustrator what you want, and it does the rest. Let's start off with this illustration of a dragon paddling a boat. And I want to make sure you realize this is a drawing, not an image. I'm going to press Command Y or Control Y in Windows so you can see the lines here. This is a drawing. I'll press Command Y again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it. This is a group. I go up to the Edit menu about halfway down to Edit Colors. Most of what's in this flyout has been around for a while, but this is what's new, Generative Recolor, and they're telling us that it's beta, so I'm going to click that. And this pops out. I'm going to drag this to the right. Now, this looks like a floating panel, just like any of the properties and layers and swatches and all that, but it's really not. It's a dialog box, and you'll see the implication of that in a moment. So this gives us a few pre-made prompts, a few pre-made descriptions of what we might want. So I'm going to choose this trippy disco. And this gives us 4 variations. It doesn't apply anything immediately. I'll click some of them. That looks pretty wild. A few of these. That's pretty neat. But let's say I decide I want something different. I want my own description. So I'm going to go up into this text box. I'm going to delete what's in there. And I'm going to say I want patriotic, red, white, and blue. And I could hit enter or click the generate button. And it gives me a few more variations that I can choose from. And the original variations are still there. Now, let's say I decide that I want to add maybe 1 or 2 specific colors. So what I could do is click this little plus sign there where it says colors. Maybe I want to add yellow. So I'm going to add yellow, and maybe I also want to add some green. Now, I can't just click green. Let's say if I click this dark green, notice it changes that yellow to green. Let me change that back to yellow. What I have to do is I got to click this plus sign twice. I'm going to click it. First time it gets rid of the swatches, click it a second time, I could go back and now assign a color. And now I'll go and click generate. And it's added some of that yellow and green, which I think for a dragon is appropriate. So this one has some of the red, white, and blue plus the yellow and green. Okay, this is really great. And I mentioned something about this not being a panel, because what if I want to take these settings and apply them to another image? I'm going to scroll over a little bit, and here I have this cat, and I decide, okay, I want to use these colors on the cat. Well, when I click the cat, notice the generative color dialog disappears. I'm going to go back to edit, edit colors, and generative, and it's right back to the default settings. Say, okay, well, what about the dragon? So now also, when I click on the background, the dialog disappears. So let's scroll the dragon back into view. I'm going to click him again, go back to edit colors there. And also, we are right back there. So this is not saving any settings. By the way, you notice grayed out, there's this reset button. Let's go to the cat here. And I'm going to click the cat, go back to Generative Recolor. And maybe for this, I want warm autumn earth tones. So I'll click some of these, and if I decide, okay, well, maybe this isn't what I want to get back to the original, that's what this reset button is. So I could click this, and it's going to go back to the original. So I'm going to assign one again. I'm going to choose that, click on the background. So I don't have that reset button. If I go to the Edit menu, though, I can undo the recoloring. But you know how do and undo works there. If I'm doing other things, I might want to undo and then I can't undo because there's other things I've done in the meanwhile. So it would be nice if I could go and reset this at any time. Maybe that's a feature that's going to come up in the future. So there are still a few refinements Adobe needs to make with generative recoloring, but for the most part, it seems to work fairly well. Adobe also recently added very cool AI tools to Photoshop, and a link to my video about that is in the description below.